Hello.
Hi.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome. We are so excited to have you here, and we made our goal.
Woo!
Woo!
Fully funded.
Yeah. Thanks for everyone who contributed.
Thank you so much. Yes, thank you all. It's really I don't know, kind of mind blowing to be sitting here doing this concert that we thought was going to be sort of our final push to get to our goal on Indiegogo, and we made it just a few minutes ago. So thank you all to everyone who's contributed, who's pre-ordered our next album of Hard Times in Harmony. You can still pre-order it on Indiegogo, and we're really excited to share a bunch of the music from that album tonight, as well as a bunch of other favorites.
So now it's a celebratory concert.
It is a celebratory concert, and we're so glad that you're all here. We're seeing a bunch of people on YouTube and Facebook saying hello. We're really glad to have you here. We're going to give, because if you made it here, that means that you found out that we had some tech issues yesterday when we were doing our test run and had to change all of the links for our live stream today, which is sort of, the classic 2020. You spend a little while trying to promote an online concert, and then 24 hours before it, all the links have to change. So we're really glad that you all are here, and we're really excited to sing with you today. The first piece that we're going to sing is actually not from Of Hard Times in Harmony. It's a piece that we arranged a few years ago to sing for a run of A Christmas Celtic Sojourn, which is a holiday show in Boston, hosted by Brian O'Donovan at the Cutler Majestic Theater. We've had the great honor and pleasure to participate a couple of years, and in the second year, Brian asked us what song we wanted to sing as our sort of feature piece, and we brainstormed a bit and came up with A Traveler's Prayer by John Windborne, which is a piece that all of us have sung in different groups, different arrangements of it over the years, and it felt like a really perfect piece for us to put our little Windborne spin on. And we're also really excited to share with you that this year, as with everything, Christmas Celtic Sojourn is going online, but they are producing a really beautiful show that features many of the artists from the past multitude of years, including us. And we just today filmed out in the very cold our tracks for that production. So A Christmas Celtic Sojourn, a wonderful show to celebrate some of the holidays. But this is A Traveler's Prayer.
Praise to the moon, bright queen of the skies, jewel of the black night, the light of our eyes, brighter than starlight, whiter than snow. Look down on us in the darkness below. If well you should find us, then well let us stay. Be it 7 times better when you make your way. Be it 7 times better when we greet the dawn. So light up our way and keep us from all harm. Give strength to the weary, give alms to the poor, to the tainted and needy 5 senses restore. Give song to our voices, give sight to our eyes, to see the sun bow as the new moon shall rise. Cast your eyes downward to our dwelling place. 3 times for favor and 3 times for grace. Over the dark clouds your face for to see, to banish misfortune and keep Trinity. In the name of Our Lady, bright Maiden of Grace, in the name of the King of the City of Peace, in the name of the Savior who hung on the tree, all praise raise to the moon for eternity.
Thank you. It's still a little bit strange for me to be here, you know, in a room with literally no one else, and know that you're out there.
Who are the rest of us?
What are we?
I meant no audience. No one other than us. Oh my goodness.
You're the ones who count in Min's heart.
Yeah, all of you guys who helped us get to our goal. Anyway, I trust that you're all there. I know there are comments going by. It's hard for me to read them, and I'm not going to try. Next, we're going to sing you an Occitan song. And this is one of the great things about this upcoming album of Hard Times and Harmony is that it is a multilingual album. Since Windborne, we've been recently doing all of these social justice pieces of music, but we also previously had done songs in many different languages from a variety of different cultures. And so for this next album, we wanted to be able to do both of those things. So we went searching for some pieces in different languages that also had a social justice message, and this is one of those. It's an Occitan song which is in a traditional style, but it's actually a modern composed piece by Laurent Cavalier, and he wrote it to protest the building of a prison in Toulouse. It is a counting song, which is a traditional format for Occitan songs to take. And it counts down from 9, which is traditional. And it says, there are 9 pieces of charcoal for writing, 9 thoughts for mulling over, written on the walls of 9 prisons. He who is sound of body will go crazy in prison.
Now carbus per scrivere, now pensaros per ministre, sur la parede now prisu, luces bue benanan, ben kabutu bemichan, 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 red carbos per scrire, red pensaros per ministre, sur la parede red prisu. Luces bue benanan, ben kabutu bemichan, luces bue benanan, ben kabutu bemichan, set carbus per scrire, set pensaros per ministre, sur la parede set prisu. Luces bue benanan, ben kabutu bemichan, luces bue benanan, ben kabutu bemichan, ses carbus per scrire, ses pensaros per ministre, sur la parede ses prisu. Luces bue benanan, ben kabutu bemichan, luces bue benanan, ben kabutu bemichan, sin carbus per scrire, sin pensaros per ministre, sur la parede sin prisu. Luces bue benanan, ben kabutu bemichan, luces bue benanan, ben kabutu bemichan, tres carbus per scrire, tres pensaros per ministre, sur la parede tres prisu. Luces bue benanan, ben kabutu bemichan, luces bue benanan, ben kabutu bemichan. Dus carbus per scrire, dos pensaros per ministre, sur la parede dos prisu. Luces In carbu per esprire, in a pensare per ministre, si la pare di una prisu. Lucas Mue Benanan, Ben Kabutu Benichan. Lucas Mue Benanan, Ben Kabutu Benichan. Lucas Mue Benanan, Ben Kabutu Benichan. Lucas Mue Benanan, Ben Kabutu Benichan.
Well, thank you. Thank you for being here tonight with us. It's really such a pleasure, and particularly such a pleasure to have reached this goal. Even before we were thinking, oh, maybe we'll have a countdown clock or something, but you put us over the top, and we're really grateful for that.
Can I just say one quick thing before you introduce the next song? So we are using a new piece of software to broadcast to both YouTube and Facebook with the same stream, which means it's a little bit harder for us to see the comments. So we're trying to keep track of those as they come in. Thank you so much. We love seeing what you're saying as the concert's going. We love seeing you chat with each other, but we apologize if we're not responding to your comments in time quite as much. And if you are on Facebook in particular, please do share the stream so other people can watch as well. We do see a couple of people saying that the sound is quite low. Is there anything that we can do about that?
Yeah, we can play around with it.
We've played around with it. We'll see if it helps. Thank you.
Yeah, so our next song is another one off of the new album. It's a song originally by Phil Oakes called The Ballad of Medgar Evers, is sometimes also called Too Many Martyrs. And it's a piece that we've loved Phil Oakes for a long time, and this is one that sort of burbled up for us as one that felt really compelling over the summer in the midst of a lot of these Black Lives Matter protests. And it felt important to be doing something, singing something that spoke to some of those issues, and we sing some other songs, but this is sort of a piece that came out of that time. And Phil wrote this song in 1963, right before the Civil Rights Act, and it's a song that he wrote after the assassination of the civil rights activist Medgar Evers, but he wrote it sort of with this sadness and anger about that assassination, and also a lot of hope for the future. And we sort of took that song and updated it and saying, yeah, okay, there might have been all of that hope, and those issues didn't go away. We didn't pass the Civil Rights Act and then everything was great. There was no sort of moment in time where sort of suddenly everything became great. And we're still here 50 years later, having to protest those same things, and we're not the ones who are bearing the brunt of that. The people of color are bearing the brunt of that injustice. And so, like many of our songs in sort of our more recent singing together, this is one that we started with Phil's original words, and then we added some to update it to modern times. Ballad of Medgar Evers.
In the state of Mississippi, many years ago, a boy of 14 years got a taste of Southern law. He saw his friend hanging, and his color was his crime, and the blood upon his jacket left a brand upon his mind. Too many martyrs and too many dead. Too many lies, too many empty words were said. Too many times, too many angry men. Oh, let it never be again. His name was Medgar Evers, and he walked his road alone, like Emmett Till and thousands more whose names we'll never know. They tried to burn his home, and they beat him to the ground. But deep inside they both knew what it took to bring him down. Too many martyrs and too many dead. Too many lies, too many empty words were said. Too many times, too many angry men. Oh, let it never be again. The killer waited by his home, hidden out of sight. The police that always followed Evers disappeared that night. The killer squeezed the trigger, the bullet left his side. It struck the heart of everyone when Evers fell and died. Too many martyrs and too many dead. Too many lies, too many empty words were said. Too many times, too many angry men. Oh, let it never be again. And they laid him in his grave while the bugle sounded clear. Laid him in his grave when the victory was near. While we waited for the future, for freedom through the land. The country gained a killer and the country lost a man. Too many martyrs and too many dead. Too many lies, too many empty words were said. Too many times, too many angry men. Oh, let it never be again. We waited for that future, for that liberating day. We ignored our own complicity and didn't change our ways. Some claim that they are colorblind, but color's still a crime. And the victims of the violence leave a brand upon our mind. Their names were Trayvon Martin, Michael Brown, and Sandra Bland. Breonna Taylor, Freddie Gray, George Floyd, and Joseph Mann. Eric Garner, and so many more who cannot breathe. Each name not just one person, but communities bereaved. They were not martyrs, but victims of hate. Dismissed and dehumanized, no justice from the state. Killed at the hands of so many angry men. Oh, let it never be again. Oh, let it never be again.
It's an important song to be singing. It's a hard song to sing.
It's a hard song to sing.
But an important one. We're going to shift gears a little bit now and sing a seasonal song, another song that's not actually on our next album, but is one of our favorites when it gets to be this time of year, and we have the excuse to sing it. It's a Christmas counting song, but probably not the one that you were thinking of.
The one that some of you are thinking of.
Yeah, I guess I should think about who our audience is. It's probably the one that all of you are thinking of. But not the one that you might have heard or that one might hear if one frequented places like malls or retail establishments.
Yeah, like anyone does that right now.
Which hopefully nobody's doing right now anyway. But this is a piece that I learned from my dad singing with Noel Sing Me Clear. It's always been one of my favorite Christmas songs. It's called Come and I Will Sing You. And we also just wanted to put a little plug and thank you to another group of supporters that means so much to us, and that's our Patreon community. Patreon is a platform where people join for sort of a monthly subscription, and we put out new music as well as a behind-the-scenes look into our lives as musicians. Usually we say our lives as touring musicians, but now it's our lives as stay-at-home musicians. We share the process behind some of our arrangements, the thoughts behind some of our songs, early access to music videos, and new tracks every month or so. And this, Come and I Will Sing You, was the track of the month for last December, and so we'll share it with you now. Come and I will sing you. Please do sing along at home. Sing as loudly as you can, and maybe we'll be able to hear it here.
Yeah, and I'd also like to say thank you for everyone who's tagging people and sharing this link in the comments. Please do spread it, and we want to keep sending that off into the world, and we really appreciate it.
And if you're watching on Facebook, share this on this concert on Facebook too, so other people can find it easily.
Come and I will sing you.
What shall I sing you?
I will sing you one alone.
What shall be the one of them?
One is one and one alone. Come to me, dilly, come and dilly alone, and never shall remain so. Come and I will sing you.
What shall I sing you?
I will sing you two of them.
What shall be the two of them?
Two of the Christmas babes in green. One is one and one alone. Come to me, dilly, come and dilly alone, and never shall remain so. Come and I will sing you.
What shall I sing you?
I will sing you three of them.
What shall be the three of them?
Three of the three that's in Bethlehem.
Two are the Christmas babes in green. One is one and one alone. Come to me, dilly, come and dilly
alone, and never shall remain so. Come and I will sing you.
What shall I sing you?
I will sing you four of them.
What shall be the four of them?
Four are the carolers at the door.
Three are the three that's in Bethlehem. Two are the Christmas babes in green. One is one and one alone.
Come to me, dilly, come and dilly alone, and never shall remain so. Come and I will sing you.
What shall I sing you?
I will sing you five of them.
What shall be the five of them?
Five are the oxen standing by.
Four are the carolers at the door. Three are the three that's in Bethlehem. Two are the Christmas babes in green. One is one and one alone.
Come to me, dilly, come and dilly alone, and never shall remain so. Come and I will sing you.
What shall I sing you?
I will sing you six of them.
What shall be the six of them?
Six of the six that never did mix.
Five are the oxen standing by. Four are the carolers at the door. Three are the three that's in Bethlehem. Two are the Christmas babes in green. One is one and one alone.
Come to me, dilly, come and dilly alone, and never shall remain so. Come and I will sing you.
What shall I sing you?
I will sing you seven of them.
What shall be the seven of them?
Seven of the shiners up in the sky. Six of the six that never did mix.
Five are the oxen standing by. Four are the carolers at the door. Three are the three that's in Bethlehem. Two are the Christmas babes in green. One is one and one alone.
Come to me, dilly, come and dilly alone, and never shall remain so. Come and I will sing you.
What shall I sing you?
I will sing you eight of them.
What shall be the eight of them?
Eight of them are the filly shine white. Seven of the shiners up in the sky. Six are the six that never did mix. Five are the oxen standing by.
Four are the carolers at the door. Three are the three that's in Bethlehem. Two are the Christmas babes in green.
One is one and one alone. Come to me, dilly, come and dilly alone, and never shall remain so. Come and I will sing you.
What shall I sing you?
I will sing you nine of them.
What shall be the nine of them?
Nine of them's Aunt Mary Ann. Eight of them are the filly shine white. Seven are the shiners up in the sky. Six of the six that never did mix. Five are the oxen standing by. Four are the carolers at the door.
Three are the three that's in Bethlehem. Two are the Christmas babes in green.
One is one and one alone. Come to me, dilly, come and dilly alone, and never shall remain so.
Come and I will sing you.
What shall I sing you?
I will sing you 10 of them.
What shall be the 10 of them?
10 are the 10 commandments.
9 of them's Aunt Mary Ann.
8 of them are the filly shine white.
7 are the shiners up in the sky.
6 are the 6 that never did mix.
5 are the oxen standing by. 4 are the carolers at the door.
3 are the 3 that's in Bethlehem.
2 are the Christmas babes in green. 1 is one and one alone. Come to me, dilly, come and dilly alone, and never shall remain so. Come and I will sing you.
What shall I sing you?
I will sing you 11 of them.
What
shall be the 11 of them?
11 all gone to heaven.
10 of the 10 commandments, 9 of them set married, and 8 of them are the shine white. 7 of the shiners up in the sky, 6 of the 6 that never did mix. 5 of the oxen standing by, 4 of the carolers at the door, 3 of the 3 that sing at me, 2 of the Christmas babes in green, 1 and 1 alone. Come to me, dilly, come a dilly alone, and never shall remain so.
Come and I will sing you.
What shall I sing you?
I will sing you 12 of them.
What shall be the 12 of them?
12 of the followers all in a row.
11 all come to heaven. 10 of the 10 commandments, 9 of them set married, and 8 of them are the filly shine white. 7 of the shiners up in the sky, 6 of the 6 that never did mix. 5 of the oxen standing by, 4 carolers at the door, 3 that sing at me, 2
Christmas birds in green. 1 is 1 and 1 alone.
come to me, dilly, come a dilly alone, and never shall remain so.
Oh, that's one of my favorites. So much fun to sing. Hope you were having fun at home with that as well.
So we're going to sing another song off of our upcoming album of Hard Times and Harmony. This is one that it started. We got the inspiration to do this one from a song, a Scottish song called "Parcel of Rogues." The poem was by Robert Burns, and it's a song about the annexation of Scotland by England. And it's a really beautiful song. It's really also a very bitter song, and it has a really wonderful conceit, a really wonderful structure to it. But we felt pretty disconnected from the actual content of the poem, and we wanted to do something with the concept of the song that felt a little closer to home and closer to our lives. And speaking of home, I like to take this moment to think about where we are and where we live. Right now we're live streaming from Guildford, Vermont, which is on the original territory of the Abenaki and the Pennacook. And more generally, the four of us, we grew up in what a lot of people now call New England, but earlier was called by many of the original people who lived here and still do live here. It's called the Dawn Land, as in the land where the sun rises. And it's important to remember that that the native peoples of this land still exist, and they still face a lot of discrimination and a lot of oppression, and in more overt ways and in more insidious ways as well, and in the way that they're so often ignored, and a lot of people don't even think they still exist, which they do. And so this is what we decided to make our version of this song about. So this is Parcel of Rogues.
From California to Massachusetts Bay, from sea across to shining sea, in redwood forest and waves of grain lies the beauteous land of our country. Yet before we came, these lands were bound to peoples in relations, to a land now seized as stolen ground, such a parcel of rogues in a nation. When English pilgrims settled here, they met with native peoples. They bargained to build their homesteads near, and professed they would be peaceful. Then to start a war for land they claimed, a convenient John Sassamon was slain. Such a parcel of rogues in our nation. Oh, betide the Cherokee, the Seminole, and the Choctaw. They've cast out now the Muskogee, they've banished as well the Chickasaw. Through spurious claims their land was seized. They were driven in forced migration. A trail of thousands to starve or freeze. Such a parcel of rogues in a nation. These trials endured and hardships borne, tribes started to recover. So laws were writ and children torn from the arms of their own mothers, to fracture language, kin, and clan in schools of assimilation. We will kill the Indian and save the man. Set the parcel of rogues in our nation. Farewell then to their sacred ground. Farewell their ancient glory. For highways we've dug up their burial mound, but buried their culture and story. Now we must write the next verse of the song, one of harm or reparation. And will we choose to right the wrongs of the parcel of rogues in our nation?
Thank you. That one is still pretty new for us, since we at the beginning of, well, near the beginning of the pandemic, the first time we got together after all of this started, we just had a whole bunch of creative energy and did a lot of arranging and putting together of new songs for our new album. And we haven't had a chance to tour with any of these cluster of new songs, and that's one of the ones that we haven't gotten to sing live for people. So it still has that new, exciting energy and also a little bit of uncertainty about it. But it's really a joy to be able to sing it for you, even if you're not in the same space with us. Yeah, we forgot and left the foot cam up for most of that song. There's a special camera for my feet, because during a couple songs I do some foot tapping. And so when you hear that, that's me tapping, and we try to put up a little special camera for my feet, since we're all just sitting here in front of these twinkle lights, in sort of our everyday clothes. And next we're going to show you a video. This is another perk. If you're on Patreon, you get early access, and so you've already seen this whole video. This is one of our parody videos. It's a great joy for us to be able to do, and one of the things that Patreon allows us to do more of is to follow our silly ideas. And this is a rewrite of a Shape Note song by William Billings called Easter Anthem. And Lauren and I grew up singing this every Easter at Guilford Community Church. And it's a really fun song. And during the pandemic, with, our household, and I think your household as well, and many households did a lot more bread baking than they might otherwise. And some people who'd never tried it turned to trying bread making, and it became this theme. And one day I was sitting out on the porch, and the beginnings of the lyrics for this rewrite came to me. And Will and I spent the rest of the afternoon sitting and writing out the rest of the words, and then we took it to the group and we figured it out. And
Can I just interrupt and say, when Lynn says she brought it to the group, what she means is Jeremy and I got a text with the entirety of this song sung with like barely contained giggles in the background, and we were like, absolutely 100% we're doing this right now.
I was excited.
It was probably the best thing we'd received thus far in the pandemic.
So while we were together at a place where Lauren and Jeremy are staying, we were able to use Jeremy's mom's kitchen. Shout out to Liza. Thank you for that beautiful kitchen and for your beautiful bread. So in the video you're about to see with us dressed up as if we were going to a Shape Note Sing, with a counter in front of us with some beautiful bread baked by Liza, and Will beating time with a wooden spoon, we present to you Yeaster Anthem.
Or 425 on the bottom rack. The loaf is risen indeed. Hallelujah. The loaf is risen indeed. Hallelujah. Now is the dough risen for the bread, and become the first food for them that slept. Now is the dough risen for the bread, and become the first food for them that slept. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. And did it rise, and did it rise, did it rise? Hear, O ye nations, hear about my bread. It rose, it rose, it rose, it rose. It burst the bowl's top edge. It burst the bowl's top edge. It burst the bowl's top edge and triumphed o'er the day. Shout, shout, earth and heaven, this sourdough so grand, which had good oven spring, which had good oven spring, which had good oven spring, and mounded with flour from the spoon, and mounded with flour from the spoon. Then it rose, then it rose, then it rose, then it rose. Then first from leavening, triumphant from the oven, now with pride we seize a perfect loaf. We seize a perfect loaf. Bread, all immortal, hail, hail. Housemates all lavish us strange gifts of bread. Mine all the glory, ours the tasty bliss. Mine all the glory, ours the tasty bliss. Mine all the glory, ours the tasty bliss. All right. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that you're baking and singing in your households as well. Yeah, we'll be posting that full video in the next couple days. Although it was already leaked, you can share it from our page and send it around to your baking and/or Shape Note and/or that
crossover communities.
Venn diagram friends. All three of those people out
There's
there.
a lot of
No, I
singers
think there-
who bake.
Yeah, there are a
Yes,
lot of
there's a
people out
lot.
there.
It's a large Venn diagram
Yes.
overlap.
Yeah, it's not quite a circle, but you know. Yeah, so we have another bit of.
I just saw someone say it's a mic drop or a spoon drop
Yes.
at the end of the video.
Yes, it is a spoon
I
drop.
like that.
Mics have only been around for so long. Spoons predate them by
Oh my
a
gosh.
while. So we're going to sing you another song. This is another one that started off as a piece called Stuff to Call Money. Was that the original title?
Yeah.
That was the original title. Big Bill Brunzi, and it sort of passed through some folk traditions of various interpretations until it got to us. And, well, I don't know if there's so much that I'm really going to say about it. Otherwise, other than we've tentatively decided to call it the trolley problem.
And it's another one that's going to be on our upcoming album.
Well, I got on the streetcar one day. The conductor held out his hand. He said, "You can't get no free ride here, man. Don't you understand? 'Cause you must have the stuff they call money. You must have down in your pockets. You must have the stuff they call money, or you can't ride on here."
So I went to the public transit meeting and I raised on up my hand. Don't you know the fellas got called on one by one and I never got to make a stand? 'Cause you must have the right equipment. You must have down in your pants. You must have the right equipment or you can't talk in here. Well, I headed to the rally in my tie and bowler hat, but my mama, she looked me up and down and said, "Are you going out like that? 'Cause you must have the right kind of clothing. You must have the proper presentation. You must have the right kind of clothing or you can't walk out there."
Well, the transportation bell got axed and it brought tears to my eyes. Then inside my head I heard a voice saying, "Stop that, men don't cry, 'cause you must have
The right kind of
and
feelings,
you must show
no emotion,
you must have."
a stony disposition or you can't walk out there. Well, the streetcar crashed on my morning ride, so I went to get a scan. On the doctor's form I had to choose check woman,
Or check man.
'cause you must be one or the other and it must match what's down in your pants. You must be one or the other or we won't see you in here. You're trying so hard to put me in a box that you won't listen to me. I'm just trying to help folks get from point A to point B. And I don't need your opinions about my body. It's none of your business. I just want transportation for all folks around here. So I'll dress and act just how I want when I'm riding that streetcar. Name my desires and speak my truth. We are just who we are. You must have freedom of expression and you don't need anyone's permission. We must have a gender revolution, so let's start right here. Let's start right here.
Oh, goodness. Oh, that's fun. That's fun to sing. On the album, Jeremy brought this amazing washboard that was your grandfather's, right?
Yep.
Which I've been calling the Chaos board. This is my washboard, and the one that was Jeremy's grandfather's had a whole bunch of stuff attached to it, a bunch of like random little bells and symbols and a cheese grater and
I don't know. I think there's a future for random other members of Windborne holding teacups.
right.
Yeah, we can.
So for the album, I was playing that, and during the break, I just went crazy and started hitting all of the things chaotically, is why I call it the Chaos board. And then we realized for this live stream, we didn't have the Chaos board. So Lauren and Jeremy were helping by giving me random things to bang on. We do what we can. It's just help make the chaos happen.
We're gonna do a song now off of our previous album. One that is this new album is very much thematically a continuation of it. This is the Chartist anthem, and it's a song from the Chartist movement. The Chartists were a group of activists for voting rights in Victorian England, who really they kind of set the stage for what around the world would be considered basic democratic rights. Things like being able to vote even if you didn't own property, and having a secret ballot, and a lot of things that we sort of see as basic. And they were incredibly successful in gaining support for their movement. Millions of signatures on reams of parchment delivered to the Houses of Parliament. They were incredibly unsuccessful in getting those things actually enacted in their own lifetimes. The movement was absolutely crushed. But over time, after that movement, those things just kept coming back until they became sort of inevitable. And it's really kind of a potent song for us, thinking about fighting for things that we may not even see come to pass, not because we think they're expedient or because they're achievable, but because we think they are what's right, what needs to happen, and having that feeling of generational continuity between, in the movements that we that have come through the past and the movements of today, and looking forward to the movements of the future, and remembering that it took a lot of work to get us to where we are now, and it's going to continue to be a lot of work to maintain that. So this is the Chartist anthem. 100 years, 1,000 years, we're marching on the road. The going isn't easy yet, we've got a heavy load. We've got a heavy load. The way is blind with blood and sweat, and death sings in our ears. But time is marching on our side. We will defeat the years. We will defeat the years. While lords sit idly round the fire, we shiver in the cold. They rob us of our daily bread and starve our babes for gold. And starve our babes for gold. We men of bone, of shrunken shank, are only treasured earth. Women who carry at their breast heirs to the hungry earth. Heirs to the hungry earth. But yet a strain is sounding loud in music fresh and clear, and the nation's heart is beating proud, that glorious sound to hear, that glorious sound to hear. Speak with one voice, we march, we rest, and march again upon the years. Sons of our sons are listening to hear the Chartist cheers, to hear the Chartist cheers. 100 years, 1,000 years, we're marching on the road. The going isn't easy yet, we've got a heavy load.
We've got a heavy load.
Woohoo. Yeah, so for those of you who are starting to think about the holidays and what gifts you might get, I will say two things. One is that we have that album, Song of the Times, which Chartist Anthem is off of, as well as our previous albums. Those are all on our website, windbornesingers.com. If you follow the link to the store there, you can get that, and we'll get them to you in time for the holidays. Someone can drop that link in the chat, hopefully, windbornesingers.com. And then the other thing is, if you pre-order our new album, we'll have digital downloads in time for Christmas, and we'll even send you a little Windborne IOU thing that you can slip in a stocking or something like that.
A gift certificate that you can print out and
print
give
out
to
and,
any of your recipients.
They'll get to listen to it on Christmas, but you can have a physical little thing that you print out for them. And
We'll eventually get the book and album.
they will eventually get the book and album.
I also just wanted to put a little plug for our YouTube channel. A lot of you are watching on YouTube, and we're so glad that you're there.
Hi, YouTube.
But the Chartist Anthem is one of the most recent videos that we've posted, so you can find that after the concert is done. And the video that you'll see is actually the last time we performed this regularly was at Christmas Celtic Sojourn 2018. I guess it's been out of rotation for a while. But one of the really exciting things about working with Christmas Celtic is getting to perform with a big band and an ensemble. And so as we sang that just now, I'm imagining all of the other singers coming on stage and the band coming up behind us. So it's a fun video. And on the album, on Song on the Times, the Chartist Anthem does have a chorus and a band joining us. It's the only track that we brought in guest instrumentalists, because it's a song that really needs the voices of more than just the four of us.
I think that's why we haven't sung it as much, actually.
Yeah,
because
It's
now that
so
we've
nice
heard it
with
with the whole band and chorus, it's for the four of us maybe not quite as satisfying, just the four of us.
But we do have a couple more pieces for you, so don't go away yet. This next piece is one by a dear friend of ours, Joe Jenks. It's his piece "Lady of the Harbor," which we heard several years ago and fell in love with, and really felt like we needed to put into our repertoire, and Joe was very kind to give us his blessing in making our arrangement of it. And we started singing it a lot when the immigration crisis on our southern border was at its height, and because of all of the things that are going on in the world today, and the 24-hour news cycle, immigration and the really dire conditions of children being separated from families, and families held in detention, and people being, particularly in COVID times, held in squalid detention centers with no sanitation and no medical treatment. That's really not in the news these days, and that's an issue that we think about when we sing this song, "Lady of the Harbor," which of course refers to the Statue of Liberty.
From far away and distant lands, the tempest tossed with hopeful hearts and calloused hands, reach for the light, the torch held high, and cast their gaze upon the Lady of the Harbor, and she welcomes them with open arms. She says, "Let my children in. Shine on, shine on, oh you Lady of the Harbor." And so it was our families, they sailed from Poland, Britain, France, and Germany. Their earthly cares packed in their bags, they cast their gaze upon the Lady of the Harbor, and she welcomed them with open arms. She said, "Let my children in. locking down the borders, and we're filling up the jails, and we say they don't belong. How conveniently do we forget that we've all come to sing the same sweet song. Will the dream survive the strain? Will huddled masses have a chance to learn its sweet refrain? Or will we fall into our fears and turn our backs against the lady of the harbor? No, we'll welcome them with open arms and say, let her children in. Shine on, oh you lady of the harbor, oh you lady of the harbor.
All right. Well, we're coming towards the end of our live stream this evening. But before we do our last song, we just wanted to say thank you so much for coming here and listening and
coming so
coming
far.
so far from from
All that travel.
From the fridge,
From the fridge.
to the lip.
Exactly. Opening up the computer, setting up the phone, all that. And also thank you to all of the folks who have supported our Indiegogo campaign of Hard Times and Harmony. We're so excited that we've made our goal as of basically 20 minutes before this live stream. So that was really a great boost to start this on. And but of course the Indiegogo page is still there if you want to preview, if you want to pre-order the album. And of course you can always check out Patreon, our Patreon page, if you want to support us on an ongoing basis, or if you want to send us a donation via PayPal or some such, or do we have Venmo?
We have just PayPal.
Just PayPal. If you want to send us a donation, that's great. Or check out our CD store on our website. And this final song for you is another one off the album. It's our first bilingual arrangement. And it's a Québécois tune. It's a tune from the band Vent du Nord, written by Nicolas. They're the wonderful singer in that band. And it's an environmentalist take on an old Québécois fable, or a fable archetype of the devil who's trying to trick the farmer. He's got his hooks in the farmer's soul, and he says, I'll let you keep your soul if you let me take half of your harvest.
Good deal.
The farmer is pretty good at looking at the fine print of the deal and figuring out a way to get around it. But unfortunately, the devil in this particular story is very willing to embrace new technologies, new industries, and well, you'll see how it goes. But this is Le Diable et le Fermier, and thank you so much for listening this evening.
Foot cam.
Is that
right?
Yeah, it feels better.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go.
C'est l'histoire d'un diable sautant du doigt des flammes, promettant au fermier de lui laisser son âme.
Our story starts in flame, a devil straight from hell who to a farmer swore to spare his mortal soul. If he divide and share the harvest he had sown, half and half for each, that's how the deal was drawn.
À chacun sa moitié, c'est une obligation.
Le diable choisit
pour que l'entente soit bonne de garder ce qu'il reste sur la terre à l'automne.
The devil chose his half to sweeten up his haul. He'd take the part that lay above the ground and fall.
The farmer he agreed and planted straight away potatoes, carrots, beets, which beneath the ground all lay.
Des patates, des carottes,
Véritable navet.
ho, 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 who would trade their bounty? Ho, ho, ho,
Les riches de cette terre,
Ho, ho, ho.
who got the better deal?
Ho, ho, ho.
du diable ou de l'homme.
On dit mauvais temps d'échanger les butins, les diables ont maudit, ne lui restait plus rien.
When it was time in fall to divvy up the spoils, the devil's share was not. It caused his blood to boil.
He to the farmer said, I'll not be tricked again, I'll take the half below. See how you like it then.
Venez donc en voiture,
Ce qui pousse les terrains.
Le fermier accepta et planta cette fois
Des tomates, des courgettes, des melons et des
The
pois.
farmer took the deal and planted all his seeds, tomatoes, squash, and peas, melons, and green beans.
at harvest
Ho,
time.
ho,
Happy,
ho.
with nothing for him, then returned to deepest hell. The farmer wins again.
retourna vers Satan, le fermier triomphant.
Ho, ho, ho,
Who'd gamble without knowing?
Ho, ho, ho.
sans connaître le marché.
Ho, ho, ho.
Who'd fracture their own land.
Ho, ho, ho.
La terre de sous ses pieds. Le diable respecte sa parole, de l'homme se garde tout fait. Il viderait le sol.
But keeping to his word, the devil turned around. He drained the iron, the gas, and the water from the ground.
Now on that barren land, what can spring up today? Just poisonous leaves of gas, tainted water and
Le
decay.
suyer et les fruits, des gaz empoisonnés.
La terre fragilisée, comme ce Québécois condamné à bouillir, l'eau que son enfant
The
boit.
farmer, like the land, stood shattered and defiled, henceforth condemned to boil the water for his child.
The devil thus enriched a land on Ryan's spell,
Left to seek new ground.
leaving nothing but cement.
Ho, ho, ho.
At the ending of our story,
Ho, 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 qui donc aura perdu?
Ho, ho, ho. Cette précieuse énergie.
Ho, 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 who's lost and who has won?
Ho, ho, ho. Will we repeat the bargain? Ho, ho, ho. Or is the deal already done?
yay!
Well, thank you all so much for being with us here tonight. We're just so glad that we exist in a world and in a community of people who value and appreciate music, harmony singing, songs with a social message, the messages behind those songs, all of these things. We just feel so glad to be part of and to have your support in this adventure that we're undergoing right now. And also after COVID times, it's an exceptional thing to have a community like this surrounding us. So thank you for your support. Please do continue sharing it. We're going to extend the campaign to be open for pre-sales going forward, so you can continue checking that out and all the other ways that you already know about. But a huge thank you, and we'll see you next time.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
Good night.